The dust is slowly starting to settle after all the craziness that went on in the F1 driver market for 2023. At one point, there was a tug-of-war going on between Alpine and Oscar Piastri. Piastri's tweet clarifying that he hadn't signed for Alpine just after the team claimed the same was seen as career suicide by many. Piastri has now told his side of the story to F1's official website. I'm your host, Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Oscar Piastri reveals bizarre and upsetting truth behind Alpine drama. Piastri started off by explaining why he chose McLaren. The CRB ruling has confirmed I didn't have a contract for the 2023 season with Alpine. I was free to choose my destiny, and I felt McLaren was a great opportunity. They were very straightforward and very keen and enthusiastic to have me. To be completely honest, there was a lack of clarity around my future at the team at Alpine. He clarified his position with Alpine during all this. Alpine publicly stated they wished to continue with Fernando for at least 1 or 2 more years. I respect that. But after spending the year out, my hopes were firmly set on an Alpine seat, and the lack of clarity, and similarly to Fernando, a bit of a strange feeling in negotiations, it didn't feel like it was the right decision for me to stay around. The lack of clarity around my future, and ultimately a breakdown in trust, I felt the very attractive offer of McLaren and the positive dealings with them thus far were all reasons why I felt McLaren was where I was best off for the future. He then revealed that he had already told Alpine about his decision well before Alonso made his announcement. My decision was made well in advance of Alonso's departure, which made Alpine's announcement probably even more confusing and upsetting because we had told the team I wasn't going to continue. He reiterated that Alpine's claims were false and how it affected him negatively. It was quite upsetting as the announcement was false, and it also denied me the opportunity to properly say goodbye to everyone at Enstone. He signed off by confirming that even he was taken by surprise when Alpine announced that they had signed him. That was a bizarre and frankly upsetting episode. It was done publicly in front of some members of the team who were oblivious to the situation, and I didn't want to cause a scene in front of them. Once we were in private, I told Otmar what our position was and what he had been told multiple times before that. It was very surprising to me to make that announcement. Fast feed. Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton feels they have landed in a much sweeter spot with the car. We're not that far behind, which is great to see. We have to keep pushing. Teammate George Russell added that it's better than Spa, that's for sure. The car is working better, no doubt about it. Ferrari Charles Leclerc stated, for the future, I think it would be good if we could find a solution to keep the tear-offs in the car. Of course, I'm not angry with Max, and of course it's not the driver's fault either. But we could look at a way to keep the tear-offs somewhere in the car. Red Bull's Max Verstappen acknowledged that Ferrari will be stronger here than last week. But on the other hand, we went pretty well in the race in Hungary before the summer break. Of course, they screwed up with the strategy back then. Teammate Sergio Perez will analyze everything as a team to see where he can get closer to Max. And McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo is glad that the bulk of this announcement is done, and hopefully it gets a bit more fun for the last 8. Should the FIA make sure that helmet tear-offs are discarded inside the car? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.